Hello everyone, it's King Sloth and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be debunking 5 myths regarding joining the British military. And if you don't know me, my name is King Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years before transferring across to the Royal Air Force, where I still currently serve. So, myth 1, you all have to be super fit to join. That's a complete myth. You don't have to be abnormally fit to join the military. I went into the army first, which I believe out of all the services is probably the one that requires fitness the most. That's what it's known for PT, for bee stings, things like that. But I wasn't that fit. I passed my assessment centre, which, to be honest, I didn't really get a good fitness session before that. I didn't really train before the selection centre. But during phase 1 is where it all shines. Phase 1, they will start you off training as if you'd never done fitness before in your life. Like, you learn how to do a press up correctly, a sit up correctly, a squat correctly. You'll be running small distances, you'll start marching with weight, but it's all from beginner levels. It's nothing too serious, too fast. They have to build you up to avoid injury. So do not worry about being like very abnormally fit, because in reality they will train you up for it. And also, if your fitness does struggle with regards to like phase 1 training, there's always, it sounds bad, but there is always a chance of a back course where you still have extra time to get your fitness up and you're still within the military. So yeah, that is point 1. Point 2, you will constantly be at war. Why would you want to join? I've been in for, what, 10 years now? Almost 10 years. And I have not been to a single war zone. Not been to a single war zone. And most of the people I've worked with had never been to a single war zone. When people first joined, like back in the day, you had different wars going on and people did join for going to war. They become patriotic, they want to join, they go off to places like Afghanistan, Iraq. That's what they did. Whereas we're now out of Afghanistan and Iraq, so a lot of it is less going to war and more multiple times of preparing to go to war. You practice on your kit, you stay fit, you go on different exercises with your kit to prove that you can work. Rather than working on your kit in camp where you know it's going to work, you take it out in the field to practice with it. So when you do deploy with it, eventually if a war does kick off, you're ready to go and you know exactly how the kit should work, and everyone's different jobs. The next myth, you lose all personal freedom. People seem to think that the military, when, like, before you're in, they think they have you in almost like a prison scenario, which I've never really understood. Yes, the military is very disciplined. Yes, the military is structured, but you don't lose all your personal freedom unless you're like away on exercise and like you're needed to work at like a decent amount of hours. But then again, even on exercise, once you finish your shift on exercise, you do whatever you want back at the tent or back where you're trying to sleep. You still have your decision to do what you want to do. After work, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not on shift. Completely fine. A lot of places, you have your weekends off unless you're on duty. So you still have your weekends. You still have about 31 days of leave to use per year. And you've got to think as well, a lot of different camps across the military have the opportunity to do sporty on a Wednesday. So once again, your personal freedom, if you pick a sport where potentially you can go to other countries like rugby, you can go on rugby tours to Cyprus and you can be away for 2-3 weeks. If that's not a sense of personal freedom, then I don't know what it is. You're doing what you want and you're getting paid to do it. That's a sense of personal freedom to me. Myth number 4, debunked. Pay is terrible. When you first start in the military, the pay isn't going to be as good. That's a fact. It is what it is. But it has risen quite a lot over the past couple of years. When I first joined up, the minimum wage was £19,000 a year. That is not a lot of money when you think about it. £19,000 a year is not a lot at all. Now, minimum wage is starting at £25,000 per year, and £25,000 is a very good amount of money. But considering you've got all your subsidies as well, if you live in the block, you're paying £30 a month for a place to sleep, which includes electricity, water, heating, internet you can get on camp for dirt cheap. If you're in married quarters, you, like myself, you get heavily discounted rent. You don't pay a water bill, so you're already getting time. So I currently pay for my house, which is a 4-bed house in a really nice area. I'm paying £380, like almost rent to the military, and also £100 almost their version of council tax, because obviously you move around so much. You pay something called Silcott, and by doing that, I can live an easy life with the reduced rent, and it's really good. Another thing regarding the pay, as you progress up the ranks, your pay gets quite jumpy very fast. So your first promotion, say if you're a private to Lance Shack or Lance Corporal, that's one of the biggest pay jumps you get. So I went from, I think eventually after doing 2 years as a ciggy near enough, I went from £27,000 to 32 or 33,000, which is a big jump per year. And that pay, like you hit it, you're just below the next tax bracket, so you're making a lot of extra money. And because you haven't changed where you've lived or you're in the block, that's just free money. It's extra money to you now. Yes, you get the responsibilities, but it's great to have the extra money in your pocket. And to be honest, with the amount of extra jobs you get as you go up the ranks, it makes sense that the pay increases too. Myth number 5, it's only for tough guys. Only tough guys can join the military. I've never been known as a tough guy at all. Never been known as tough. Like, yes, I've done boxing, yes, I've done rugby, but I've never been known as this hard man psychopath. And do you know what I mean? I've never been known as that. I've always been known as the bloke who's like the BFG, the big friendly giant. I've never been interested in being known as a hard man. But like, I guess back in the day it was very different, because you were signing up and going to like a war zone, or back in the day when everyone in like the special forces had these massive moustaches and were fighting in the desert. They're doing hand-to-hand combat with the Germans. Some people are still stuck in their history books. They're not looking at the current affairs or issues of the military. That's what they're not doing. Like for myself, yes, I did boxing, but I've never been the sort of person to smash the gym and get absolutely huge. Like, I've never done that. People seem to have this stigma that the military are mental, and I've never understood it. Like, for me, I work in IT. I've never heard anyone in Civvy Street or the military go, bro, that bloke in IT is a hard man. No, that never happens at all. Sounds like you've got medics, you've got padres, you've got chefs. I've never heard of anyone being like, that chef's hard. Oh, that musician is an hard man. Like, it doesn't happen. You can be as soft as you want in reality, but obviously there needs to be a switch. So like when you're in phase 1, you go in the army, you do bayonet training, you got to fix up, you got to be angry, and you got to show that you can be tough. So there you go. That is 5 different myths debunked regarding joining the British military. A lot of people seem to think it's the hardest thing in the world to be in the military, but if you stay tuned into this channel, you'll be getting advice, tips, tricks, an actual real life experience of time within the British military. It's been King Sloth. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you think, or give a question regarding the British military. Subscribe, around for 10k by the end of the year. Let's get that done, and hit the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.